You're watching the Chucktown Wind Report Extended Outlook from Sunday, October the 25th through Wednesday, October the 28th. Okay, so all eyes are on this system here. This is what used to be Major Hurricane Patricia that went across Mexico and reemerged in the Gulf of Mexico and is now about to make landfall again over Louisiana, this time as a mid-latitude non-tropical low-pressure system. It has gotten some cold air wrapped around into the core, and we're seeing cold fronts overtake warm fronts in succession, and that means it is an occluding front along a stage of cyclogenesis as it runs into land. So not expecting this to become tropical in nature because of this cooler air core, cooler air being drawn into it, and the nature of it in general. So what we have here is a large batch of rain and some heavier winds heading up in this direction. The big question is it going to have some major effects to us along or just ahead of a cold front in the southeast region? And the answer to that is going to be with this high pressure that is coming together to set up a large dome up here to our north. And what this is going to do, it's going to drive some moderate to strong northeast winds down our coastline tomorrow. We're looking at upper teens to low 20 knots for wind speeds along the coastline. Specifically for the beaches, we could see some of that backdoor sea breezing effect go on within periods of sunshine, if there are any. With more rains and clouding, we may not see the higher speeds come up. We may see more of a northeast flow with some land shadowed offshore values going on there. So what that's going to do, this high pressure dome set up to our north, what happens is we have a jet stream dip that comes down through the country and then swoops back up around the backside of the high pressure. So we have clockwise rotation around it. What that's going to do is it's going to pull this system along with most of its rain and energy up along with it through Tennessee and Kentucky and up and around the southeast region, around the center of it. So it looks like we're going to get spared a lot of this heavier potential of rain that was showing a couple of days ago from the system. That high pressure is going to build to about 1,030, 1,033 millibars. It's going to be strong enough to pull the system around it. So it looks like we're going to be spared a lot of that energy. And some of the plume viewers, I'll get to that in just a moment, where we can see some of the model forecasting for it. Right now, let's go to the GRE. This is a really good product to see what's going on in the southeast, or the deep south and southeast region. So we see a lot of this rain and energy coming across up into Louisiana, spreading into Mississippi and Alabama, and that will continue to be the case as that low pressure makes its way onshore. If we look at our infrared, we can see how widespread the clouding is over the entire deep south and southeast region, where we see mainly over us for South Carolina, we're seeing more of a mid to upper level type of clouding that's going on, and we saw that today, and that means a lot of overcast skies. Could see a couple sprinkles or two overnight, maybe into tomorrow morning, and then the potential increases just a little bit each day as we get towards Wednesday, as this draws a cold front and heads towards the southeast region, but sort of fizzles out. So it doesn't look like we're going to get a full brunt of a prefrontal build ahead of this low as it goes up across Tennessee and Kentucky, but it doesn't mean we're not out of the woods for rain. Wednesday could be kind of a washout as we get to the afternoon hours. Looking at water vapor imagery, you can see the widespread clouding going on over the southeast region, and you can see this drier, these oranges represent drier, cooler air being wrapped in around this system, and that is what is keeping this as a non-tropical low. All right, let's take a look at the jet stream. Now, this is for, let me back up here just a minute. This is for tomorrow morning, and you see the jet stream taking a little bit of a dip to our north. And what's going to happen here is, as we go into time, let me click this, hit next. As we go into time, we see a dip develop in the jet stream. And this is for Wednesday in the morning, and this is where that system's really going to start to get picked up and pulled to the north as we see a dip come down. And high pressure is going to be set up firmly over here to the northeast and maybe push out into the Atlantic, and we're going to see that wraparound winds around it as the jet stream pulls that system and all of its components up. Now what that means is a cold front with a lot of southerly winds ahead of it. So Wednesday we could get some southwesterly build in the winds because of that, as long as the low-level jets are strong enough to force that to the surface. And we also have to watch out for marine layering to cap those winds in the very low teens. Since the water's dropped a little bit, we're still in the upper 60s. If the air temperature gets up into the mid to upper 70s to near 80 degrees, we're probably going to see our first real marine layering event of the year. So we have to keep an eye on that as well. Let's take a look at Datascope. And here's the area over coming into Louisiana. We see some of these winds in these spots. are holding near tropical storm force values, and earlier in the day they were a lot higher, and you can almost see the direction of winds as they kind of wrap around the low. It makes for a pretty neat little illustration there. It looks like 3 of these stations are down. Sabine Pass, I believe, had some information earlier this morning before it went down where we saw some 40 to 43 mile an hour winds and gusting up into the mid 50s. Okay, let's go over to Charleston and see what's going on here locally. If we go up the East Coast, we can see some of these northerly winds probably already starting to make their way down. You can see up here by New York, New Jersey, we see 15 knots, 13 knots Virginia Beach. Those northerly winds are going to start to turn more north and northeast by tomorrow, and we will see our winds pick up tomorrow afternoon. Now, specifically with Charleston along our Barrier Island beaches, we do see some of those accelerations come up a little higher, especially in periods of sunshine. We could see that backdoor sea breezing pull numbers up into the low to mid 20s at times. We could see mid 20s peaks during the afternoon heating. So once it comes down, those initial pulses are going to really surge in the morning, and then we should start seeing some higher numbers building into tomorrow afternoon. I want to take a look at the Isle of Palms Pier. Right now we're showing 3 knots from the east-northeast. Very weak. We had a very weak day with overcast skies. And here we go on the model runs. Take a quick look at what's going to happen tomorrow as far as the models are concerned, what their opinions are. Now, our high-resolution models are having it jump up. The high-resolution rapid refresh only goes out till 10 o'clock a.m. from where we are right now. Looks like it jumps up to about 17, 18 knots by 10 a.m. Beyond that, we'll have to take a look tomorrow morning at it. But the other high-resolution models, the NAM 5K, has it jumping around a little bit tomorrow afternoon. So it looks like it could go up, maybe down, depending on the clouding situation. So that may be reading off of the sea breeze situation with clouding and not getting enough sunshine for those accelerations. So we'll have to wait and see what that model depicts in the morning. But most of them are in agreement for a northeast to east-northeast flow and elevating to a certain point. They may not disagree in speeds, but one thing's for sure, it looks like there's going to be elevations and winds tomorrow, and it looks like they're going to be moderate to possibly strong winds tomorrow into tomorrow afternoon. As we get into Tuesday, we see those winds start to back down slowly. We get more of an easterly lean as that high pressure to our north bites out to the east a little bit, and the wind speeds start to come down as the gradient relaxes along the coastline. And as we get into Wednesday, we see the winds shift all the way around the clock, all the way around to southerly flow. Models aren't picking up on any real builds right now, but that could change if a cold front develops and we get low-level jetting to bring those winds up. So we'll have to wait and see what goes on for Tuesday for the southerly wind build on Wednesday. So kind of taking it day to day, we know for sure tomorrow is going to be a moderate to strong wind build, and then fading Tuesday, and then Wednesday's kind of up in the air as far as what the southerly flow is going to build for. Okay, look at the rain potentials for the southeast region. The WPC had it at 2.2 inches for our area earlier. It was a little bit more modest with ½ an inch yesterday. Then they built it to 2.2. Now it's down to 1.9 for our area. So a little bit of mixed opinion about that, but it looks like they're keeping most of that rain and energy away from us and then focus more on the Gulf states as that system lifts up. And you can see the trail of it going up the Appalachian Mountains. Most of that energy and rain will be heading to our north, going up to the north and around us. Here's the plume viewer I was talking about earlier. Now this is the total quantitative precipitation forecast for the week, starting on the 25th, which is right now at 6 o'clock p.m., and then it goes all the way across to the 29th at 6 o'clock a.m. So as we go through time, this is the build of the rains, and this is what a lot of forecasts go by, this plume viewer. If we look at our average, mean average is 1¼ inches on the 29th, which is going to be on Thursday. So it looks like the WPC is keeping that build of rains going through Thursday. So it may be a slow mover for that cold front to get out of the area and keep a little bit of rain over us. So we're looking at about 1¼ inch as a mean average. Some of these models are going up to 3.74, and some of them as low as barely ¼ inch. So they're looking at right in between at about 1¼ inch to 1½ inches of rain total for this event coming up. So most models keeping it pretty modest as far as rain goes for the next few days, and doesn't look like we have a lot to worry about. Okay, and let's take one more look, one wrap-up look at our area tomorrow. Northeast winds, once again, moderate to strong, backing down Tuesday. Wednesday, we get the southerly draw as that high pressure moves out into the Atlantic, and we get this kind of flow going where that cold front approaches from the west. Get the southerly flow going. We'll have to watch for marine layering as the water temperatures cool. And that will do it for the Chucktown Wind Report. Thanks for watching.